we have called for this press briefing in order to respond to Congress discussion going on about the sanctioning of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeder Association of Nigeria, MACBAN, alleged to have supported the killings of Christians in the north. So without much taking of your time, I'll run the statement. I'll run through the statement. The U.S. Congress bill HR 7457, Nigeria Religious Freedom and Accountability Act of 2016 and the Protection of Lawful Nigerian Institutions. The Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeder Association of Nigeria, MACBAN, hereby addresses the public, the government of Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the international community regarding concerns arising from the bill before the United States Congress, titled HR 7457, Nigeria Religious Freedom and Accountability Act of 2026. While we acknowledge the sovereignty right of the United States to deliberate on matters relating to religious freedom and human rights, we are deeply concerned that the emerging narrative surrounding this bill have increasingly sought to associate MACBAN, a lawful Nigerian association, with terrorism and mass atrocities. We categorically reject such insinuations as false, unfounded, and injurious to the integrity of a duly registered and a national association. MACBAN was established in the 12th of February 1986 and is a legally registered corporate entity under Nigerian law. For 4 decades, the association has operated openly, maintaining national, state, and local government structures across the Federation, with executive officers democratically elected every 4 years. We are recognized by the federal, state, and state governments as a legitimate stakeholder in livestock development, pastoral welfare, and conflict mediation. Our members, the pastoralists, contribute significantly to Nigerians' protein supply and rural economy. Any international blacklisting or stigmatization of legitimate actors risks economic loss, trade disruption, and further marginalization of vulnerable communities. Our constitutional objectives have remained consistent and transparent. A, promotion of pastoral welfare and economic advancement. B, livestock development and modernization of husbandry practices. And peaceful coexistence between pastoralists and host communities. And also collaboration with security agencies and government institutions in conflict prevention and solution. A resolution. MACBAN has never condoned crime in whatever ramification. We abhor banditry, terrorism, kidnapping, and cattle rustling, all forms of violence, extremism, and unequivocally reject all criminality. No court of competent jurisdiction in Nigeria or abroad has ever convicted or indicted MACBAN as an organization for criminal or terrorist activities. To conflate the alleged actions of isolated criminal individuals with a registered corporate association is not only legally unjust, but also dangerously simplistic. It is important to state that pastoralists themselves have been major victims of criminality. Armed groups and bandits have attacked our communities, rustled cattle, displaced families, assassinated leaders. In 2016 alone, at least 3 of our state leaders were killed by criminal elements. These tragedies underscore that we are victims of insecurity, not perpetrators of it. We have consistently worked with federal and state security agencies in intelligence sharing and lawful interventions, in mediation and peace-building platforms, in technical committees or grazing reforms and livestock modernization, in livestock identification and in regulated grazing systems. We are reverently appealing to the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs and the Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence to consider a formal resolution expressing the Senate's position on the erroneous characterization of MACBAN and to activate the parliamentary diplomatic channels to engage the U.S. Congress constructively. MACBAN is respectfully calling on the President of the Senate and the distinguished National Assembly to intervene legislatively to safeguard the integrity of Nigerian institutions. We affirm the National Assembly's commitment to protecting registered Nigerian organizations from unjust international designation. Failure to address such characterization may: 1. Prejudice Nigerians' international image. 2. Embolden section-based targeting of Nigerian associations. And 3. Undermine public confidence in states' ability to protect its lawful institutions. We urge the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in coordination with the Office of the National Security Advisor, to initiate urgent diplomatic engagement with relevant U.S. authorities to correct erroneous narratives associating MACBAN with terrorism, present verifiable evidence of our lawful registration, regulatory compliance, and decades-long peace-building records, and ensure Nigerians' official position clearly distinguish between recognized socio-cultural associations and criminal elements acting outside law. Given the strategic role of the National Security Advisor as head of the Nigerian section of the U.S. Nigerian Joint Working Group, we respectfully request that this matter be elevated within bilateral security dialogues to ensure that the Nigerian counterterrorism cooperation framework is not only premised on false equivalencies. Nigerian security architecture must not be undermined by external narratives that disregard domestic judicial process and lawful institutional status. We call on the Nigerian and international media to avoid sensational, stereotype-driven, or skewed reportage. Complex security challenges require nuanced reporting, not generalized profiling of the entire community. Irresponsible narratives deepen divisions and hinder reconciliation efforts. We urge balanced engagements with verified sources and stakeholders before drawing sweeping conclusions. MACBAN remains unwavering in its commitment to national unity, constitutional order, peaceful coexistence, livestock sector modernization, and full cooperation with Nigerian security agencies in combating any form of criminality. We respectfully urge the federal government to protect legitimate Nigerian institutions from unjust international designation and to ensure that law-abiding citizens engaged in producing the bulk of Nigerian animal protein are not unfairly stigmatized or economically harmed. Justice must be individual. Accountability must be evidence-based. And international engagement must reflect fairness, legal precision, and respect for sovereignty institutions. Thank you very much. To clearly indicate that MACBAN takes the recent statement made before the Congress very seriously. And secondly, the allegations against that MACBAN engaged in support of killings are inaccurate. And sadly, MACBAN operates in full compliance with applicable Nigeria's through U.S. laws and regulatory requirements. We have not engaged in any form of criminal activities. 4, we are prepared to cooperate fully with any formal inquiry and provide relevant documentation to ensure transparency. And 5, MACBAN remains committed to the ethical operations, regulatory compliance, and constructive engagements with policymakers. And in a nutshell, MACBAN strongly disputes the allegation raised in recent congregational discussions. We operate in full compliance with all applicable laws and welcome the opportunity to clarify any misunderstanding through appropriate channels. The report, as you rightly said, that report comprises a lot of information about Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeder Association, and it also includes our actual position and the position of our members as victims of this crisis. So we have made a comprehensive submission supporting all these things. But one thing I want you to understand is the submission we have made is to the American government through the ambassador's office here for onward transmission to the Congress and the American government. So we believe our report is receiving attention up till now as far as we are concerned. And I want to reiterate to you that despite this conference and the subsequent ones that we have already done, we have also written letters to the Minister of Foreign Affairs asking him to intervene. We have equally sent letters to the office of the NSA asking them to intervene. They know us. They know how we operate. This association is over 42 years in existence. And since then, we have never been taken to any court of legal jurisdiction for us to face any legal aspect concerning any form of criminality in this country. And we have been conducting ourselves in the most respectable manner, ensuring that the association doesn't get itself involved in any form of criminality. There is no record as far as we are concerned with the Nigerian government's alleging or seeing us as a criminal body. And to add it up, Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeder Association is not an armed organization. It's an organization that was established for the welfare of cattle breeders, irrespective of their tribe or religious affiliation. Whoever you are, if you are a cattle breeder, we protect your welfare once you have registered to become our members. And this is an association that also pays attention to the development of the entire livestock and peace building between the farmers and herders. These are the core responsibilities of this association. So we have never taken responsibility for any attack. We have never supported any form of criminality, and we have never represented any criminal. We are not armed, as I earlier said. So these are the facts that we want to advance further for the U.S. Congress to know and understand that in spite of the report we have already submitted to them. So,